Yo, salut à tous et bienvenue dans la suite de Let's Play The Outer Worlds Special Choice Edition. Et donc, dans la vidéo précédente, on a fait les quêtes de compagnons, dans les quelques vidéos précédentes. Et là, je crois qu'il est l'heure qu'on entame les DLC. Donc, Péris sur Gorgone. Atteint le niveau 25, c'est bon, moi je suis niveau 27, je crois. Donc, on va faire continuer tout simplement. Celui qui en fut Gorgone. À livrer un colis pour Exostorm. Ah oui, c'était avec un mercenaire. On a reçu un... un message audio, mais je sais pas où il est. Même pas, j'ai des trucs de quête, je sais même pas qu'est-ce que c'est exactement. Bon, bref, on s'en fiche. On va pas réécouter le truc. On va directement partir sur Gorgon. Alors ça, c'est vraiment des découvertes pures. J'ai aucune idée de ce qui se passe dans ce DLC. Qui est-ce que je prends avec moi? Alors j'hésite entre le vicaire, Pavarti, Félix ou Ellie. Mais je crois que je vais prendre Félix et Ellie au final.
Welcome to Ambrose Manor. We were not expecting company. Please follow. Do not stray from the path.
Aw, that's no fun.
Gotta admit, that was. It's kind of funny.
Bon, je sais pas, je prends peut-être de l'avance. J'ai une carte d'accès déjà à la cuisine.
Bringing canned responses.
J'aime bien visiter un peu moi quand j'arrive.
Make him regret it, Gordon.
Oh, that's the last of him.
Nice going.
Donc quoi, c'est bien de visiter. Mais bon, on va ranger son flingue et on va y aller. Tranquillement.
This unit.
Bon, pour l'instant, c'est plutôt beau. Saleté, on dirait plutôt des déchets humains.
Wow, Ambrose Manor. Hey, you think it's haunted? I bet it's haunted.
At the very least, there ought to be something worth stealing in there.
C'est allons voir.
Okay, maybe not.
This place looks kind of sad. Like it's been waiting for someone to make a home out of it.
Bon, on va pas aller plus vite que la musique, on va commencer par aller parler à la cliente. La chambre de Minnie, apparemment, une fille qui a quitté la famille. Je suppose que c'était tout ce qu'il y avait à voir là.
So who the devil are you? I was just enjoying some time with my thoughts and this fine whiskey, but I don't mind the interruption. Do you see that glowing chunk of space rock? That's Gorgon. My birthright, my burden, and the bane of my existence. I hate to drink alone, and this is my third, so join me in raising a glass. To Gorgon. To Gorgon. May cosmic winds... I'm Wilhelmina Ambrose, but you can keep it short and call me Minnie.
Nice to meet you too. Wow.
Now, what brings you to my house, handsome? I take it you didn't come all this way for the beverages, the starry skies, or the pleasant company. A severed arm. How positively ghoulish. You know this is a private residence, not a curio shop? Lucky? Oh dear, he's my personal... I sent Lucky on a dangerous mission to the Gorgon asteroid. Whoever found his remains must have wanted to inform the next of kin. What a time for his luck to run out. We were in the middle of something grand, and I really can't afford another setback. Funny that you should... How would you like to be my new freelancer? There's been a recent... Remember, play hard to get. That's...
I could get used to people offering us a job at first glance. Usually they just squint at us all
I'm looking for someone rough around the edges. A gorgeous, dashing scoundrel type. Incidentally, someone good with their hands. I like my employees well-groomed. Appearances are everything in high society. The man lost an arm. What are the odds of that? Of course, Gorgon is a treacherous place, and my own family's... Allow me to lay out the facts, and you can decide for yourself if you want to be my chief investigator. My mother, Dr. Olivia Ambrose, worked for Spacer's Choice at the Gorgon Research Facility. She was brilliant, the top scientist in her field, until tragedy struck. I wish I could... One day, Spacer's Choice shut down all research and evacuated Gorgon. Everyone had to scramble or risk getting left behind. It was chaos. Employees fled for their lives. Mother never made it home. Mother's name has since been dragged through the mud. Spacer's Choice blames her for the collapse of Project Gorgon, and I just know they're lying. Everything you can imagine and more. Dereliction of duty, circulating anti-corporate memos, taking longer than average coffee breaks. The list goes on. Mother would not have allowed Project Gorgon to fail. Something happened on that asteroid, and my family took the fall for it. I admired Mother, but we weren't close. She didn't make time for us. I remember thinking that she never wanted a child, and never forgave me for being one, naive and irresponsible as I was. No doubt. I only wish Mother worked herself to the bone. She wanted to make the colony a better place, no matter who or what got sacrificed along the way. She never spared a thought for those of us who cherished her, who suffered for her idea of progress. It was difficult on us. Mother and Gorgon were made for each other. I had the misfortune to be stuck in the middle. I don't know, and Spacer's Choice won't say. Gorgon has a dark history. The project fell apart. Personnel were shuffled across the... Father lost more than his job on Gorgon. The asteroid may look like a glittering jewel, but I assure you the resemblance ends there. I need your help, Captain. Project Gorgon killed Mother and disgraced the Ambrose name, and no one has been held accountable. Spacer's Choice buried the past like a dirty secret. Neither. It's been... Whatever happened on Gorgon wasn't Mother's fault. We're going to drag the truth kicking and screaming into the light. All the evidence I need should be in Mother's journal. You can find it in her office on Gorgon, in the heart of the old research facility. I'm not surprised. Speak freely, Captain. I suspect it will prove that corporate greed and incompetence... Mother was a brilliant woman. Difficult, cold, unreachable even, but brilliant. Spacer's Choice evacuated in a hurry, leaving a fortune's worth of equipment. This is my last hope of redeeming the Ambrose name. I don't like my chance. I didn't want to go anywhere near Gorgon. Once I exhausted all my options, I even had Mother declared legally dead. Would you believe it took 5 years to process the paperwork? Mother's body is still on Gorgon. No body means no death certificate. I killed Mother, just on paper, of course, so I could claim my inheritance. We wouldn't be I once assumed the mansion and the money would be enough to redeem the Ambrose name. But even in Byzantium, prestige must be earned. You know, some people work hard just... Break back into high society, yes. I'm trying to do several things at once. The smear campaign against Mother was the work of cowards. I'm vindicating the family name for her, for the colony, and for my future. At the very least, I can guarantee that we learn from our mistakes. This colony is in trouble. The lunatics at Spacer's Choice are running the asylum, and we need better After Gorgon, I quickly discovered that the Ambrose name was cursed, for lack of a better...
That's Byzantium for you. Gossip mongering's a bigger sport than...
That is why I'm clearing the record and vindicating the Ambrose line. For Mother, for me, and for the generations who will one day inherit Halcyon. I know it will. You know as much as I do. Spacer's Choice abandoned Gorgon, but the asteroid is far from unoccupied. Between the marauders, the wildlife, and whatever escaped the labs, danger abounds. Toward the end of the project, I heard Mother grumble about some test subjects running amok outside of their enclosure. Just watch yourself. If you aren't... I believe that covers it all. Are you ready to get started? We mustn't allow the trail to get cold. I admire your enthusiasm. When you reach Gorgon, pack a weapon you trust. The corporate lockdown hasn't stopped the wilderness from squirming in through the cracks. I've never understood why, but Gorgon is teeming with marauders. Then there's the test subjects. Those who survived anyway. Perhaps we should cut the Q&A short in that case. There's a little saloon near Gorgon's landing pad. The Sprat Shack. Lucky was renting a room.
The Sprat Shack? Hope they don't serve real sprats. There's a sprat-worst place on the Groundbreaker.
I think I've heard of that place. Cheap whiskey, rough crowd. You'll...
Just so we understand each other, money is no object. I'm willing to squander between your payment and any salvage you happen across. You'll walk away from this rich enough to buy a mansion of your own. How does that sound? The cash? No one's ever done this before, and the only person... Here's your nav key, Captain. Safe travels. A word of advice before you go, Captain. Mother's office is in the heart of the Gorgon facility. You're free to salvage anything that isn't nailed down.
It's not theft if she's giving us permission.
Hey boss, what's our policy on getting to know our clients a little better? You think she'd appreciate some company? Alright, Miss Ambrose? Must get awful lonesome.
The last thing I need in my life is more corporate propaganda masquerading as entertainment. He is. You seem very nice, and very pretty. And I'm sure there's a wealthy... Alas, it isn't me.
Hey, no problem. I figured it was worth a shot at least.
Bon, j'ai la clé des cuisines. Et honnêtement, il n'y a rien de spécial ici. Quoique.
I had a nightmare about this sort of thing once. Crawling around on my hands and knees inside a mansion.
À tous les coups, je pourrais pas le pirater. Je vois, en fait, ils sont à l'opposé, les deux. T'as raison.
Dear Wilhelmina, I hope this letter finds you well. No, it's too stilted. It sounds like I'm writing to request a loan. Dearest Wilhelmina, I regret to tell you... Law, no, that's worse. When have I ever called her dearest? She's my daughter. This should be easy. How can a mother not know how to talk to her own daughter? My love, I can no longer... For your safety, I must... Oh, hell. Even if she despises me,
This unit expresses dismay.
still be able to say goodbye. Minnie, I have to leave, and I don't intend to come back. I love you. I'm so sorry.
Running diagnostic.
Lui, il me fait chier, j'ai envie de tirer dessus déjà. Ah, ce bot de merde. Alors. Bon, c'est parti pour Gorgon, je suppose.
This ain't a proper serial adventure without a narrator. How about this? Our intrepid heroes stepped foot on Gorgon, and in the distance, a drinking establishment beckoned.
got supplies if you need them. No one lasts long on Gorgon unprepared.
Apparemment, il y a des armes de très haut level ici. Enfin, de très haut level, de bon level. C'est des V3.
You looking for supplies, stranger? Let's stock up here. If you run low, let me know if you're looking for something particular. Huh? Oh, you don't gotta worry. Damn alarm's been hollering at us for 5 years. You know, I don't dream anymore. It's all, please evacuate in an orderly fashion. I think that alarm's gonna bang on for all time. I know, because even Von Hoffman couldn't bash it in. And I seen that tough son of a gun throw a man clean across the Sprat Shack one time like he were a toss ball. Only that Spacer's Choice shut it down in a bit. From what I heard, some of their folks got left behind even. You mean you came out to this asteroid without knowing nothing about it? Me too. Trouble is, if you wander off to somewhere you oughtn't be, like way out in Gorgon's farthest reaches, odds are slimmer of your bits. If you want my advice, stick close to the Sprat Shack. Unless you fancy having your limbs torn off and eaten. All right. Just be sure you watch out for the Marauders. You watch out for Marauders, Mance, and Charles from accounting, and you'll... Only the meanest Marauder on Gorgon, and also anywhere else. That man is crazier than a bag of canids, and he will bust your head open like an overripe mock apple if he so much as sees you. I ain't joking. He'll snap you in half like... Sorry. Charles from accounting is like... Imagine if you took 3 of the most howling mad Marauders you could find, and...
You know, that's actually true.
You ain't listening to me, huh? Well, I warned you. Yeah? His name is Charles and he used to work in accounting? No, sir, they do not. Found a pickaxe in the mine like none I've ever seen before.
C'est d'assaut léger, non. Il n'y a rien qui m'intéresse spécialement. Ça pourrait être utile, une carabine à plasma ultra. Mais même là encore... J'en ai déjà une carabine ultra. Bon, on va aller voir la map de Gorgon, un peu. Bon, c'est pas immense. Je sais pas est-ce qu'il y a une autre zone, ou c'est la seule zone. Pour l'instant, la map est pas énorme. On va voir s'il y a des choses à découvrir, etc. Mais bon, déjà, on va se diriger là où on doit se diriger.
Whatever happened here, we're not gonna be next. Be ready.
Bon, avant tout... Normalement, ça rapporte de l'XP.
Energy efficiency is its own reward.
Ouais. Bon, pour l'instant, ça se rapproche un peu de Monarque, etc. C'est pas rien d'exceptionnel. On va voir si ce DLC vaut le coup. J'ai pas eu la chance de le tester à l'époque. Quand j'avais fait le jeu la première fois. Bon, on va voir si j'ai raté quelque chose. J'étais un peu dégoûté. Si je pouvais pas me le permettre de l'acheter sur le coup. Je trouvais ça un peu cher. Et là, j'ai acheté la Special Choice Edition. Et il est fourni avec. Et on va voir si j'ai raté quelque chose d'important. De très intéressant, quoi.
Come here. Let's have a chat. All right, inspection time. Look at my eyes for as long as you can without blinking. Starting now. Want to run that by me again? Feisty one. Well, fuck. That was a sanity check. If you had changed like the others, it'd be in your eyes. You'd also be drooling, cursing, and making a mess of the place. Every day, salvagers and scrappers set out to comb the ruins and make their fortune. The ones who come back, they aren't always the same men or women who left. They change. First, they get real twitchy and paranoid, shouting at folks who aren't there. Then they smell like they soiled themselves. After that, they're gone. Nothing but animals wearing human skin. Seen it happen myself. It's never pretty. Just don't ask me to dance. This is a sublight bar, so most of our regulars... The facility's locked up behind miles of red tape, so progress is slow. A lot of time to drink and reevaluate. Something bad happened here. Spacer's choice.
Can this colony have one research facility developing something without horrible, face-melting...
Marauders outnumber the rest of us 10 to 1. Either they came from Gorg... This place is under a dark cloud, stranger. That's all I know. If you want the Bouncer, bodyguard, law enforcer.
And I thought this place was gonna be fun.
Highest caliber of what?
We get a lot of brand-loyal corporate types, and a lot of cutthroat freelancer types. Both sides have their share of dirty scoundrels. And if you're heading downstairs...
Ok. Apparemment, il y a des zombies ou...
All right, pushing up.
Smell that? Cheap whiskey and stale cigarettes. My kind of place.
Now this looks like a real dive. Hey, I wonder if they got those floorboards that creak when a stranger walks in.
We're all friends here.
Are you my agent on the ground?
Sorry?
I've been sent to meet a certain someone about a certain piece of merchandise. A secret code phrase.
Can't help you. I'm just here to drink.
That's the code phrase. It is you.
Quiet down. You're making a scene.
On perd pas le nord.
You got nimble fingers, Captain.
You're a humbug, Trixie, and worse, a thief.
I can't steal what's lawfully mine, you tangle-footed dimwit.
Bring it up, you two. I've heard more than enough of your shit for one day.
That was my salvage, Trixie. You had no right to it then, and you've no right to it. A disagreement between...
I risked my life sneaking around Marauders to claim that wreck. And
Now you've done it.
All right, that's enough! This is a family establishment! You want to make a mess?
But this was personal, Lex. It's a question of salvage. That wreck was gonna make me a fortune.
Now you two listen, this is my place. While you're in the Sprat Shack, you'll...
Fair's fair. I'll have a stout.
It's no good to leave a fight unresolved. If I don't do something, these two are gonna be at each other. You do that for me? I appreciate it all the same. You'll be paid. Freddy? Trixie?
I'll start, seeing as I'm the one who's been most wrong. Oh, very formal. Freddy the Scat.
Junkyard Trixie. Also a salvage...
So, just up the road and due east of here, I staked my claim on that wreck. Then I wandered in for a drink. An hour later, Trixie swaggers in bragging about her salvage. Ugh, the nerve of some people.
When I found the shipwreck, there were no salvage mark. See, the whole area was so I snuck around and added my tag. Clear as day, so no drunken idiots could claim...
For the record, when I heard the Marauders coming, I left. Trixie must have set her mark down after me.
Quit leading the process. Anyway, that's my story, sir. I drew next in the dirt, with my toe. Wouldn't surprise me in the least, but that doesn't mean...
In all my years, I've never heard a more contentious argument. I don't envy your You've heard it from them both. So, who gets the salvage?
Thank you.
Blah.
You'll pay for this. I don't know how, and I'm not sure when.
Here's a six-pack on the house, plus your fee. Maybe now we'll finally get some peace around here. I'll write to Lilia Hagen in the corporate office on Groundbreaker. It'll take a while. Nothing happens fast around these parts. But at least a little too often if you ask me. But that's the sublight way. Anything worth doing is worth fighting over. Come and chat if you're...
Oh, boss. I was hoping for a scuffle. I had a bottle ready and everything.
We could always go back and rile him up again later.
Thanks again for the salvage. You're all right, no matter what Freddy says.
Bon, honnêtement, je savais pas du tout quel camp choisir.
Sorry about Freddy and Trixie. When they're not fighting over salvage, they're fighting over the bed sheets at night. They like to blow off steam during work hours, but welcome to the Sprat Shack. First one's on the house, and I won't even water it down. What'll it be? Bottoms up. I assume you're here for salvage. Even if I did, I ain't supposed to... Most of my regulars are sublight scavengers. They pick over the ruins of Gorgons. Vicious cycle, but that's life. You're the first new face I've seen in a while. Spacer's Choice used to brew pharmaceuticals in these parts. They say Adrena Time came from here, just down the road at the old R&D lab. Very hush-hush back in the day. Damn right we are. We've got drugs, scrap metal, When Spacer's Choice evacuated, everyone dropped their gear and, of course, the real treasure is Lucky. Sure, I knew him. Heard he took on a dangerous job. Spent a lot of time coming and going from the Office of Creative Incubation, just down the road. I don't ask about jobs unless people want to make it my business. Awful shame about what happened to him. You really want to hear my story? Lol. Last I saw of Lucky was a few days ago. I went outside for a smoke and a stroll, and I saw this wild canid dragging a bloody limb. So I get this. The canid was chewing on an honest-to-law human arm. Lucky's arm. I'm a bartender. Attention to detail. Anyway, the arm was clutching a phonograph that mentions... I did some poking around, and this Hawthorne... So I packaged up the arm nice and tidy and sent it care of the Halcyon Parcel Service. They even gave me a discount on the hazardous waste removal stamp. No kidding. And I'm glad I was here to see this confluence of events, you know? The stars really aligned on this one. And I figured Hawthorne would want to know what happened to his pal. Help Lucky get... Oh, I hate to see... 3rd floor. Once I figured he wasn't coming back to pay his tab, I left his room unlocked to air it out. Fair warning, I've been letting the regulars use it for a quick lie down. Just wash your hands. Yes and no. The Sprat Shack used to... When Spacer's Choice pulled their guys off-world, Sublight moved into salvage what we could. Yes, rumor has it there's a Sprat wandering around the Groundbreaker. And he's the legal owner of the Sprat Shack. Hagen's idea. See, Hagen didn't want a paper trail that led back to her. If there were any legal problems with...
You know, they do something similar in Byzantium. Fancier system.
Hey, Sprats can be real dangerous. I once saw a Sprat cross a guy off. Well, not exactly. Guy I worked with choked on a Sprat.
Anyway, that's what the paperwork says. I don't make the rules. Easy. His name's Matt. The beautiful thing is, no one could tell Matt Sprat apart from an ordinary vermin. I think that's kind of the point, to send the authorities on a wild Sprat chase. Never thought about that. As far as business arrangements go, this one's a head-scratcher, but they say it's all above board, so that's what matters. Yes and no. We're doing a lot more than squatting. We're a class... They didn't even serve drinks until I arrived. Talk about wasted potential. Yeah. Again, that one was Hagen's idea. Thirsty people come and go from all over the colony. That's how we get the Come back when you're thirsty.
On va aller visiter.
Groundbreaker never had bars this nice.
Jerome would have loved this place. You don't look like... You've got the look of someone who's traveled far to get here, and whose journey is far from over. You would... I don't know if you're bound for the old ruins, but in case you are, Can you look into something? I'd do it myself, but of course, the Marauders would eat me. Not, looking for something out there. Been paying Sublight to help me, but they haven't made much progress. It is to me. My husband and I worked on Gorgon during the good times. Jerome was on maintenance duty. I cleaned out test tubes till they getting the hell off Gorgon. In his final hours, Gorgon was a war zone. Violence broke out in the labs. When the order came through to evacuate, non-essential personnel drew a lottery to see who would board. As soon as I wasn't looking, Jerome switched our tickets and pushed me to the front of the line. I got to leave. Here, a quick study. This place is greedy. Took my Jerome, and I gave it to him the day we signed our marriage contract. And he carried it wherever he went. No point in denying it, he died on this rock. Likely torn apart by marauders. I don't like to imagine what happened, but I know. You'd really do that for me? Law. I don't have much, but if you help me, there's a little set aside. Jerome used to drink with his buddies in a small kitchen opposite the maintenance shed. Might be a good place to check first. Yeah? The lab coats kept quiet about the project, but they wanted to change the world. A tenfold... I don't know what went wrong, but when the shit hit the fan, it spread...
Ok, bah déjà une nouvelle mission secondaire.
Huh, who's this now? Wonder if they could... Ah. Holy shit, a fresh face. Heavens, don't know what brought you to the most dangerous corner of this... Oh, you talked to Lex yet? She tell you to keep it civil? You wouldn't guess to talk to her, but that lady's got a mean left hook. She'd tell you I was a journalist got into reporting thinking I was gonna be some sort of... Spent 95% of my time playing stenographer to the board. And the rest... real life and death shit. If you're going back out there, do you think you'd be willing to do an old bastard a small favor?
Does this involve going somewhere we don't belong? Those are my
Well, I've been trying to get away from this rock for 5 lobby-fucked years, but I can't stay gone. Told you I was a journalist, right? I was here on a story back... I was doing an interview series for Spacer's Choice. Recorded them all on these little portable phones. But when everything fell to shit, Spacer's Choice wouldn't let me leave. Terms of my reporting contract unmet, they said. Right on the... Look at me, I'm no fighter. I've never even touched a gun. But you're just the right amount of rough around. Help me get my recordings back so I can finally get the hell out of here. I've got some bits saved up. Haven't had anything to spend them on but beer. It's nothing extravagant, you know, journalist salary and all. But the bits are yours if you want them. Someone had been trying to steal them since the day couldn't even keep them in my safe. So I took to hiding them all over the fucking ass. Thought I was so clever. What a fool I was. Oh, I've tried. I've caught a couple of rides out with Sublight folks. But the board's fixed, and I'm not about to stand toe-to-toe with marauders. Just... no shit? All right. One of them I stashed in the Office of Creative Incubation. I gave another to my friend Birdie to keep in her apartment, just outside OCI. Seems like a good idea at the time. Someone had started a fire, folks were shooting other folks. It was a madhouse. You'll find another in the... It's in the main lab storage room. Didn't have much of a choice. The primals had gotten loose, couple of them were chasing me. The recordings just ended up wherever I hid. The final one is in Human Inquiry, and it's tucked behind a pipe in Observation Room B. What with the test subjects running loose, the researchers were surprisingly unobservant. Strength to your sword arm, friend.
What's the story with this place anyhow?
Bon, apparemment, ils ont pas lésiné sur les quêtes. Il y en a pas mal.
What have you got there? Adrenatime, I think. I found some in an old busted crate.
Someone's in here. Oh, lol. It's coming back up again. I'm all right. That last one.
marble. Oh, wait. Nope, that's a human eyeball.
As a medical professional, I gotta say, that is very well preserved and disgusting.
Ok.
Pace yourself. The drinks aren't going. Be seeing.
Pour l'instant, tout ceci m'a l'air bien étrange. Non, pour l'instant, franchement, c'est un DLC qui a l'air pas mal intéressant. Au moins, je vais tirer un peu et tout, et puis je vais aller m'amuser. Mais ça sera dans une prochaine vidéo. Puisque là, j'ai fait un peu la partie parlotte, et maintenant, je pense que ça va...
Who knew what darkness lurked in the heart of Gorgon? Captain Hawthorne and his crew were about to find out.
I'm just hoping we don't need Lucky's arm to open something else.
On va s'arrêter là, et après, ça va être un peu la partie amusante, où on va commencer à tirer sur des trucs, je suppose. On va visiter un peu la planète, etc. Bon, c'est pas une planète immense, mais je suis sûr que la regorge de secrets, elle est pas si petite que ça non plus, hein. Sachant que des fois, ces zones-là, tu peux les explorer et tout. C'est une planète d'une taille honorable. Donc on va voir. Bon, bah c'est tout pour cet épisode. Et puis dans le prochain, on essaiera de... On va enfin découvrir un peu la planète et tirer sur des choses. Donc merci d'avoir regardé. À plus. Ciao.